So, good morning to all of you. Uh, as you know that this is the classroom video series in which I mainly discuss about the things that whatever I learned in my class and in my entire days. So, first of all, today I learn about what uh, I was learning in the morning. Uh, Mainly geography, and in geography major domains of earth, um, like uh, continents, all continents and all oceans. I studied about all the seven types of oceans, and not five type of oceans, and seven all seven continents, in which I discussed about several features of those all continents and oceans. Like if you talk about the largest continent is the Asia, and Asia and Europe making together. Collectively, they called Eurasia, and it is the greatest land on the or a individual land on the earth. Mm, and I also read about the second largest continent, that is Africa, the third. And interesting thing about Africa is that all three major line that are on the earth, the equator, the center of Capricorn, the center of and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer, all three uh, goes through this continent, Africa, and that's why the most of the time the heat occurs, or the position of sun occurs uh, on the Africa, on the African region, and that's why the people of there comes in the brown tone, and also it may be a uh, cause to that the world's largest hot desert is found in the uh, uh, Africa continent, that is Sahara Registan. It all covers almost 11 countries, in which Egypt and I will Egypt, Libya, Sudan, Algeria, Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Algeria, like countries are found in the Sahara region, and also I told a point that Sahara is a hot desert. It means there will be a cold desert. Yeah, also there will be a cold desert, and it happens a cold desert. Yeah, and its perfect example is the desert of the Leh Ladakh. Ladakh is a example of a cold desert. And after that, in today's morning, I discussed and I learned about the Africa, South America, that is surrounded by uh, three oceans from all three sides. From one side, uh, on Atlantic Ocean, from the another side, Arctic Ocean, and from the one side, Pacific Ocean. And if we talk about the South America, it is surrounded by almost two uh, oceans. From one side, Atlantic, and from another side, uh, Pacific. And mm, the most part of the North America occurs in the northern hemisphere, and the South America in the southern hemisphere. That's why this those name were on the south, south and north. We also discussed about two more continents that are completely in the southern hemisphere. One of them is Australia, that is like a Iceland continent, and one more uh, continent that is completely in the southern hemisphere, that is Antarctica. And if you know about Antarctica, Antarctica is nothing but the ice sheets on the South Pole. Hmm. And there will be no survival of humans there, but there are a lot of research center of most of the country of the world. India's research center is too there by the name of Gangotri, like something. And after that, I discussed or learned about the oceans, five oceans, majorly. First one is Pacific, the greatest ocean, and the deepest point that occurs in the same ocean, the Mariana Trench, 11 thousand 33 or 22 meters maybe. And you can compare with the highest peak of the earth with the highest the deepest point of the earth. So deepest is more deeper than the higher one. um, and we also know why the our planet is called as a blue planet, because we know that the 17% almost the surface of our earth is covered by the water. 17%. 70%, 70. And the 97% water that were found on the earth is completely salty. They are uh, completely uh, like not easy to use for the human purpose. Easily. And a huge amount, almost 2% water is in the ice format in the both poles, and a little bit of water that is available on the form of uh, sweet water, the water that we can use for our daily purpose. So that's why we feel always the scarcity of the water. Even the our whole earth contains 17% of water. The main reason behind that is that the water that we can use, that amount is a very little. So in oceans, Pacific Ocean is the greatest ocean. After that, its shape is like circle, and after that I studied about the Indian Ocean, and it is the only one ocean whose name is on a country's name, that is India. And it is mainly the its shape is almost triangular shape. And if you talk about the other ocean, that is one of the most busiest ocean for the point of view, the commercial point of view, that is Atlantic. Atlantic. Why it is most busiest uh, ocean in the world, Atlantic? Because if you imagine Atlantic, its shape is Atlantic shape is S shape. This is S shape. So here is your America. Here is your North America. Here is your Atlantic. Here is your Europe. Here is your Africa. And here is your Atlantica. If you see that this ocean is surrounded by almost four continents, and all these continents are more prosperous than any other, or um, hmm, continents. Here is Europe, here is North America, here is South America. They all are too much prosperous if we accept the Africa one. But here those reasons are, of course, they are rich comparatively by these on these regions. So always the trades happens in these oceans. So that's why, from the commercial point of view, this ocean is the busiest ocean in the world. Huh. And after that, I discussed about or read about the which ocean? Pacific, Indian, Atlantic. Then I discussed about the two more oceans. Which one? Can you guess? First is uh, Arctic. That is on the upper side uh, of the uh, Earth in the northern pole. It is in the uh, uh, region of Arctic Circle. Huh? So hmm, the polar region on the southern on the Arctic Ocean is found, and one more ocean is that is Southern Ocean, that is on the side of Antarctica. Hmm. So these two more oceans are considered in the oceans lists. And after that, hmm, nothing much more discussed. After that, I went to the hmm, college, and in the college, what I learned. Firstly, I attend the class of networking, and in networking, today sir discussed about mainly the configuration of mainly routing configuration, means how we configure any router uh, for a WAN network, how we can make a good connectivity, a uh, good connectivity in a WAN network devices by using routing, router, and the configuration of router. So in today's class, I mainly discuss about the whole uh, architecture and the mainly he discussed about the components that were used for designing a WAN network and handling a WAN network. And in that he also discussed about how we write or configure the uh, router on the command line by writing some code or some commands. So we use for this we use maybe Linux command, maybe Linux command. And after that, I didn't have the class of C language, C++, but I attended the class of Linux, and in Linux class, in today's class, are mainly uh, give us a 5 question to for the revision point of view, and these all questions are quite good, but I am not going to discuss uh, those one, but I will discuss the thing that I have learned in the last Linux class, in which I uh, mainly learned about the WC command. So WC command is used to count the numbers of lines, uh, the words and the characters in a given text. If there is a text given to you, and in that if you have to count the numbers, the lines, the words, then we will use which? WC command. How we will use this WC command? So if we have to count the lines in any text file, Then we use wc minus l. L means line. Then file name, in which file we have to uh, count the lines of the content. So we will go to the write this command wc minus l file name. If we have to count the words in any specific file, the number of words in a text, we will write wc minus w means word, and file name, fine. And if you have to count the characters, simply we will write wc minus c means character, then file name. So easy. Hmm. There is a one more command, that is more command. Hmm. So why we will use the more command, what is the purpose, what is the uh, hmm, use case of the more command. The more command always allows you to view the output of the screen at a time. Means what? The more command allow you to view the output of one screen at a time. Mainly why we use the more command. Suppose uh, you know, most of the time in our devices, suppose here is a device, and in this device, in a single screen, there is a space for 1 2 3 4 5 6 lines. Only we can see the 6 lines in this device. In a single screen we can only see how many text lines? 6 lines. huh. But in this file, in which this text message is available, this is actually of 15 lines. 15 lines. So at a time we can only see the 6 lines. Then how and one more extraordinary feature of the this device is that if you go to scroll the this all line text lines, it directly goes to the below or above. So for managing this thing, we use in the Linux command. Suppose you can replace it text message, and this device, suppose this is the terminal line of the Linux operating system. So we have, if you want to see the some specific lines of the this text command, we will use here more command. And how we will use we will use the more command. Suppose uh, we use this ls pipe more. ls is the content of how much? Too many lines. And now by using this command, we can scroll it in a very easy manner. We can also use this for any file by writing this command cat file name and then more. Fine. That's simple. Complete. Now we have two more commands, and they are something similar, and by name you can easily identify what is the purpose of these commands. First is head command, and second one is tail command. So what is head command and tail command, and what is the use case of these both of these So head command is used mainly for viewing the first 10 lines of any command. And if you have to see the 10 lines of any command, just we will go and use this command. So how we will use this command? Simply write head file name, and you will see the first 10 lines of this file. Huh? If you want to see the first 4 lines of this file, just simply we use again the head command. Just write head -4 file name, and you will got the first 4 line of this content of the file. First 4 line of this file. Fine. Similarly, we can use n numbers of lines from any command by using which command? Head command. Fine. It is easy, quite easy. There is a one more feature available in that for head command. At a time, we can also access lines from multiple files. Suppose I have two files, file 1 and file 2, and I have to access first 10 lines from these both files. So how we will use the head command? Simply, again same rule will be applied here. Write head file name first, comma file name second, and enter. You will got 10 first line from each files. Simple. And similarly, something functions the tail command. So head is for showing the first 10 line from the above. In tail, we use to view the last 10 line of any command. So how we will use this? Just write the tail file name, and you will got the last 10 lines of command. Fine. Similarly happens here too. If you have to access the last 5, 4, 6, 7, 8 lines, 12, 15, just simply write what? Tail -8 file name. So you will got last 8 lines of this file. Simple. You can easily understand this. So this is the main functionality of the tail command. Then there is one more command, that is join command. Join. So how and why we use this? So join command is mainly used to simply join two files content. Suppose I have two files, and there are some contents in both files. Suppose I have a file 1 here, file 2 here, and there are some content here 1, 2, 3. Suppose here is a self, here is a Siddharth, and here is Kumar. Fine. There are 3 content in this first file and 3 contents in the second file. Suppose here is reformer and here is prince and suppose again prints. And now we have now we can see here there are two files, and if you want to join the content of the both file, we will use join command. So how we can write the command for joining these two files? We will write join file 1 file 2, fine, and enter it. So how we will got output after joining? Self reformer second Siddharth Prince Kumar Prince. Now we will got the joint format because we have already joined the join command to joining these two files. So fine. So basically in today's class, in the last class we discussed the links, and in today's class if we talk about, sir give us uh, mainly what the questions about the Linux. What is Linux? So Linux is an operating system and it is highly customizable and secure, and it is open source, open for all, and free to use. And architecture, if you talk about architecture, its architecture, there are mainly 5 layers of architecture available in this. First one is the hardware part, the core one. Then kernel, most important, it is called the brain. It manages everything almost in the uh, OS or Linux operating system. Then we discuss about the cell is the command interpreter or command line where we uh, give instructions in the form of command to perform any task or thing, uh, uh, or to giving any command to the mainly kernel by using cell. Cell is a which command line interface. If you talk about kernel and cell, they are not the physical part, they are just a software. Kernel and which one? Cell. If we talk about hardware, hardware is the component like CPU, RAM, ROM, and many other things that were available in the any computer system. But kernel and cells are just a software. A cell is just a command line, and then the fourth layer is the application layer where we discussed about different type of utilities and uh, tools and the applications that were used to write the command in the cell command interpreter. So this is the fourth level of fourth layer of the Linux architecture, and the fifth one, the most important uh, level, that is the user, that gives command and gives any uh, task to perform the applications by using this all the other layers and components of any architecture. What do you mean by the process, and explain the process state diagram? Process is simply, we can say process is a set of instruction uh, uh, to perform any required uh, required task or uh, event by using the devices. So process diagram, if you talk about process diagram, in a process state diagram, firstly what happens? So I will take help because this is the question of the first year and it is quite it is very simple. Process state diagram, so we can see here there are how many steps, how many main components that are present in the process state diagram. First is for any process. In the new section, any process is created at the first time, then it goes to the ready state for uh, you can say, in the ready state they make a ready queue. Ready queue means prioritizing the uh, process. All process means who will run first, or run first. And in ready queue, the process wait for sometimes. So here we also uh, introduce one more label or state, that is a ready suspended state, uh, and where we suspend and resume the uh, processes. Then again they come to the ready state, and then they goes to the run. And if we, in the run process there are a huge or abundance of processes, then again in the after run state most of the processes uh, or a lot of processes are gone to the wait or block state. And if there is a huge abundance of the um, processes in the wet and block state, again they can be suspended in the block suspended, and they again resume to the block, and from block they go to the ready state, not run state. Again ready state, and from ready they come to the run state, and again they terminate. Hmm. So that is the main functionality of the process state diagram. And these all things are performed by several types of scheduler, uh, mainly three type of scheduler: long time scheduler, mid term scheduler, and uh, short term scheduler. So in the initial stage, from new to ready, we use long term scheduler. And from and in the in which state, uh, and for the suspending in the ready and wait block or wait suspend, we use mid-term scheduler. And other several places we just use the short-term scheduler. From ready to run, run to wait, wait to ready, we use short-term scheduler. That's fine. And if you talk about questions, so there are more interesting questions that we got today. uh, that were, which one? Explain the uname command. So I have no any idea about the uname command. I will discuss about this. Explain the different type of files in Linux. So in Linux are different types of file, mainly five different types of file found in this file. Firstly, ordinary file, in which user manually makes different type of file for his sake of convenience. And again, the second file, that is most important file, that is directory. And directory is something like folder, because in directory we put all the files. If you are not creating directory, you are going to create the directly file, so your file will create in any directory. Because directory performs like works like a folder, so you can't directly create a file. When you going you create um, a file, then same time uh, the a folder will created uh, together the file. And third one, that is a device file, and it keeps the data about device management and device connections and device related informations about input output devices. huh? So that is a device file. There is one more file, and we can say these last two files are more important, and they are almost similar to each other. That is text file and the binary file. So text file, that is, we can say dot html dot c, and if you talk about binary file dot jpt dot png dot mp3, these are the binary files. And what is the main difference between the text and binary file? So text file is easy to human under, it is under understandable to the human beings, uh, and but the binary files are not easy to understand by humans. Uh, Text files are not easy to understand uh, to the devices, but binary files are easy to understand and adapt devices. Binary format, you know, it performs or works in the form of 0 and 2, and these are not 0 and 2 are the just number and symbols, but actually 0 and 2, the for device, any device, it performs or it shows the high and low voltage in any transistor. uh. Then sir give us a question, explain about the different um, mode of VI editor. So VI editor is a visual editor in the Linux operating system, in which we can edit any the content of file, and we can add, enter, delete or customize it from for our convenience as we want. So in VI editor there are mainly three uh, different mode. Will say what is the meaning of the mode. So you can say roles. hmm? People performs different roles. Suppose this time I am a teacher, explainer. I am performing this time the role of a teacher. I am this time uh, in a teaching mode. When I am in the college, in which mode I am, I will be the in the a student role, in the learning mode. So and when I will be the in the playground, I will be in which role? A player role. And what will be the my mode? I will be the ah, excitement mode. So these are called the modes. So similarly, the Linux VI editor has mainly three modes. First one is command mode, where we can write simply any command for creating, deleting, adding, removing, uh, giving permission, deleting permission, and seeing the different type of information about the files, directories, and the tree of files and directories, huh? About the user, about the root use uh, root user, and the hoster, co-hoster, so everyone's. So how we can know about this information? By using the command mode. And also there is one more mode, that is insert mode. When we use the insert mode, uh, basically we use the insert mode when we have to edit the content of any file that we have written already in any specific files. So when we have to edit the content of file, we will use which mode? Edit mode. Thank ex command mode. I don't know about ex command mode, but I will know about this. Oh, why later? Why not now? Wait, just wait for a minute. So all these three files are available here. Ordinary file, all files created by the user come under the category of file. Data file, program file, directory file, which files under the directory, all files. Fine. Device file, output devices, some prints, hard drive, follow to disk. Fine. Kernel is responsible for mapping the file's name to the original one. Text file is a file contains human readable or machine readable jpg, png, ex.exe is a binary format of file. So if we talk about command, vi editor, have I written this? Insert mode, command mode, and where is exe mode? I have not written this one. I have written about just command mode and the insert mode, but I haven't written about the exe command mode. So I'll write today that command. If we talk about the next class that I attended, and this was my final class, maybe. That is maths class, and in maths class today sir will discuss about the Euler's theorem, and I discussed uh, the proof. Mainly he discussed the statement of the Euler's theorem, and he tries to uh, explain that we can easily understand the Euler's theorem proof, but we don't make any efforts to understand, even though we have the PDF was already available in our college group. That's our fault. So there was a more interesting thing that I performed today, and I done today, that I completed my file IO, input output in C programming, in which I studied about how any file is created, how any file is opened and closed and edited and read, write, and append in C programming. So this is a very easy concept. So if we talk about memory, there are two type memory present in any computer devices. First is volatile memory. Suppose our mind, what is this? It is a volatile memory. And the second one is we can say it a primary memory. Volatile primary, mainly in a broad actions. And the second memory, that is called the secondary memory, secondary, and it can be the form of mobile. It is also working like a secondary memory. I can't store this amount of information at a time in this mind, but I can store this all information, this phone, in this copy, in this computer laptop. So the devices that were used to storing the information, data, whatever, in the format they have. It can be the format of visual, picture, video, audio, text file, and jpg file, png file, exe file, html file, dot css, cpp, cppc, js file. So it can be of various type, but the purpose of the memory is what? It will store those all data. hmm? The simple thing of memory is what? That will store data, and it store data in two format. In which? Firstly, in a volatile format, and second one, permanently, that were used by the secondary memory like hard disk, SSD, pen drive, and many other, hmm, like SHAN. So file is a container, uh, a storage device to store data. RAM is a volatile memory in computer system. RAM performs like uh, uh, what Hmm, volatile memory, and it is a very great use, and you can say the great efficiency depends on anybody's any device, uh, in which the volatile memory is a great roles. If you have a great volatile memory, that you can generally store the just datas for a hmm, general format in your mind for a huge amount of data, without using any secondary thing, then it is a great ability. Hmm. So RAM is a volatile memory. Containers are lost when program terminates. Files are used to persist, persist the data. Hmm? Uh, Permanent storage. So operations of file. What we performs operations in file. Firstly, we create a file, open a file, close a file, read a file, and write a file. Mainly five operations: create, open, close, read, write, five. So and we also know about the two types of file that were used in this: text file and binary files. Text files are the textual data like txt and .c, and the binary data like 01100000, and these are can be the format of .exe, .mp3, .jpg. Huh. So how to access a file if there is a file available in our memory and our storage? So how we will access this? Access the data of that file. So for that we use the file pointers. So pointers are nothing but they are just indicator. Suppose we use like index fingers indicating that when someone asks where is the red t-shirt, so you indicate there is the red t-shirt. So where is your black cap? So what you generally do, so you indicate how uh, there is your black cap. So the same thing performs pointers. When you use pointers in any programming or accessing the data from any file, the same thing performed by any pointer, just it indicates here is your the thing that you are searching for. So it is just indicating here is your data, here is your data. So that is the main functionality of what? Pointer. Fine. So file pointer, for accessing any file, the content of file, we use file pointer. And a file pointer is represented by mainly what? File asterisk. Asterisk, the asterisk symbol is mainly used for what? Pointer. Pointer. So file pointer we generally called to pointer what? PTR, pointer in the short format we call it PTR, and it is a file pointer. So how we call it a PTR? Generally we denote any pointer asterisk PTR. So if we have a file pointer, how we will indicate this? So asterisk fptr. So if you have to or any creation of file start with this file pointer, file asterisk fptr. huh? So in the initially, how we will create any file? Simply you have to write a file pointer, file dot fptr, then fptr equal to f open, then in the curly, in the what is this, a small bracket, parenthesis. In the parenthesis, we will use the file name and then the mode. Again, mode, what is mode, in which mode you are. So there are several mode, but here we are discussing about mainly two mode, reading and writing. So read mode and write mode, we use what we will do in any file. If you have a binary and text file, just we can read the text, we can add something in text. For adding something, what we will do, write. So we use only two mode in file, IO file, input output, read mode, write mode. So how will open any file? Just file asterisk fptr, then fptr f open file, open file name and mode. For reading mode R, for writing mode W, and one more mode, that is use append mode. Append mode is nothing but to adding one more data in the present data. So closing a file, how we close a file. So if you see the example here, in the main section we created a file, then we opened a file by the name of test.txt, and we provide the mode to this R mode, read mode, and then we will, how we will close, similarly as we opened if open, then we will close if close, and file pointer terminate by semicolon, and then fine. This is the basic structure of any the creation of file, opening a file and closing a file. Just you have to keep in mind this syntax for keep a better understanding of file IO. And opening model, opening, how we can open a file. So there are several ways and several models. By using that, we can open a file. First is a read mode, and open to read in binary, then writing mode W, open to write in binary WB, and open to append means add next line in the present line. Fine. Reading from a file. So what we use for reading a file? For reading a file, suppose we have to read the character as well as integers from any text file. So from reading, or for reading, what we will generally do in any coding language, just we print the data. So again here, or just take the user input. So here is not user, here is a file. So we will take the output from the file, not user. So for reading we will take the output, take the input, user input, not user input. Here is file, so file input, we will take file input. So for taking user input, we generally use what? scanf. So again here, for taking the file output, we will use f scanf. Just we will add f in the first before the scanf. So how we can read from any file? Just write we will write in this format. If scanf, file pointer, then the modular, uh, whatever the data type are used, and the address, and the print if, uh, generally we will print. And in the for writing, so for writing means what, we are just printing, giving something. So when we are providing user, what we will use for printing or giving something, or what we will generally do, just we generally do use printf. So here there is no user, just file. So we will use the f printf and fptr, modular sheet, and ch, the same thing almost here we use. huh? So these are things for read and write. And now read and write a character. So we can also use two more things, that is get ch, f get ch, and put c, put c. So this is simple for a character, but these are specific for character. We can't use these method for uh, reading or writing any integer. And one more thing, that is end of file. End of file is mainly used to uh, in the loop like loop like uh, problems, when we have to provide a condition, a stopping condition to any uh, loop like a structure, we will use end of file, eof. huh? So here we have find a problem in which we have used the end of file. And also I discussed about too many and solved too many problems, like I made a program for read 5 integers from a file, and make a program to input a student info from a user and enter it a file. And then we write a program to write all the odd numbers from 1 to n. And then finally two numbers a and b are written in a file, write a program to replace them with their sum. So that were the things that I learned, discussed today. That's all for today. Thank you very much to all. Keep 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 growing.